Everyone was quiet as a dull thud was heard. None of them could react in time to what happened. It was all too sudden. 1 second, he was laughing uncontrollably. Then, the very next second, he fell to his death. How dare you? How dare you murder so openly? Who gave you the audacity? After a brief moment to collect herself, Alma roared furiously. Hank was not only someone who worked for her, but he was also her nephew. How could this bastard just kill Hank on a whim and blatantly disregard her? Madam Alma, please don't go around accusing others. I did nothing. He was the one who leaped off of his own initiative, Dustin said nonchalantly. There were so many of us watching you. How dare you deny it? Alma pressed with evident displeasure. Who saw it? Dustin looked at Nelson and the rest. Did any of you see it? No, I saw nothing. Nelson shook his head. Did you see it then, Dahlia? Dustin turned to look at her. Me neither. Dahlia, too, shook her head. Hank killed her brother. He deserved it. There you go, nobody saw it. Dustin shrugged and said with a smile, Madam Alma, is your age catching up with you already? Maybe you need to get your eyes checked. Playing the fool with me, aren't you? I'm telling you, you lot are messing with the wrong person. Alma growled with a dark expression. Madam Alma, you have to be careful of your words. Please provide evidence for everything, or else refrain from making unfounded claims, Dustin said airily. Oh, right, I've noticed that you're pretty pale, you've barely got anything holding your skin to your bones, your gaze looks dull, you're emotionally unstable, and your fingers tend to twitch every so often. I'm guessing that you don't have long to live. I suggest you take care of your health. You impudent bastard. How dare you curse my grandmother? Do you have a death wish? Julian fumed, ready to throw hands. Florence and the rest of them were also startled at how brazen Dustin was to offend the matriarch of the Nicholson family, but they didn't show it. Don't you dare try to provoke me, you brat. You'll regret it. Alma spat through gritted teeth, her gaze icy cold. Madam Alma, you best keep your temper at bay. Getting angry often may speed up your aging, Dustin advised calmly. You pesky bastard. I see you're the type to only cry and regret when it's too late. Alma could not hold it in any longer. She roared exasperatedly, Men, get him. Yes. Her bodyguards immediately charged forward on her orders. Don't you dare lay a finger on Mr. Rhys. Nelson instantly pulled his sword out and began slicing his way through them to protect Dustin. The men he brought with him today were all elites in their gang. Several bodyguards were no match for them at all. In just minutes, all the Nicholson bodyguards were on the ground, all battered up. Alma's expression darkened further at the sight. Julian, too, was beyond furious. He hadn't brought any men with him, as he had rushed over in a hurry. Had he known this would happen, he would have brought the best guards the Nicholson family had along with him. Dahlia Nicholson, how dare you? Are you trying to go against the family? Alma roared. Seeing that she couldn't use force against them, she immediately turned on Dahlia and put the blame on her. Madam Alma, I was the one who beat them up. If there's anything you're not happy with, you should come at me instead, Dustin reminded her nonchalantly. Ha! You lot are all in this together, Alma yelled angrily. Dahlia Nicholson, you let your guards go against your elders and harm your family. I am officially dismissing you from your position. From now on, you are no longer chairman of Nicholson Corporation. Dismissed. Everyone was shocked by Alma's announcement. Do you have the authority to do that? My daughter was personally appointed by the patriarch of the Nicholson family. You have no right to dismiss her. Florence was furious. Exactly. Ever since Dahlia assumed her position as chairman, she has brought in great revenue for the company. She managed to bring in over $500 million in profit within just a month. What right do you have to dismiss her from her position? Julie was extremely pissed by Alma's actions. Before Dahlia became chairman of Nicholson Corporation, it had always been in a state of loss. It was only through Dahlia's hard work and determination to reform the company that it was brought back to life. Now that it was finally starting to pick up, Alma was going to dismiss her as she wished. How ungrateful. I am now standing in as head of the family, so what I say goes. None of you have the right to interfere with my decisions, Alma bellowed. Why you're too much. Florence and Julie were beyond furious, but there was absolutely nothing they could do. As for Dahlia, she only watched with a dark expression and said nothing. She might be the chairman, but a majority of the company's shares were held by the Nicholsons. She had no grounds to object to their decision. Madam Alma, are you sure you want to do this? Dustin squinted his eyes at Alma. What? Are you afraid now? It's too late. My decision is final, and nobody is changing that. Alma was arrogant, thinking she had the upper hand. Madam Alma, don't say I didn't warn you, but I'm the only one who can cure you. If you insist on being stubborn, I'm afraid your days are numbered, Dustin said coolly. Nonsense. Do you think I'd buy your treacherous lies? Alma looked annoyed. It's up to you whether you believe me or not. After all, it's not my life that's at stake. Dustin seemed unbothered. Me. What a load of crap. I don't want to waste my breath with the likes of you. Let's go. With that, Alma turned and left with her men in tow. She had not been able to find fault with Dahlia in the past. But now that the opportunity presented itself, she would grab a hold of it and use it against Dahlia. She was going to be merciless. This is all your fault, Rhys. If you didn't attack them, Dahlia would not have been dismissed. The moment Alma left, Florence unleashed all her anger on Dustin. That's right. Dahlia had a bright future ahead of her, even possibly becoming the next head of the Nicholson family, but because of you, now everything's gone down the drain, Julie complained. This isn't Dustin's fault. He did that for us. Dahlia spoke up for Dustin because, though he acted impulsively, he did nothing wrong. His way through them to protect Dustin. The men he brought with him today were all elites in their gang. Several bodyguards were no match for them at all. In just minutes, all the Nicholson bodyguards were on the ground, all battered up. Alma's expression darkened further at the sight. Julian, too, was beyond furious. He hadn't brought any men with him, as he had rushed over in a hurry. Had he known this would happen, he would have brought the best guards the Nicholson family had along with him. Dahlia Nicholson, how dare you? Are you trying to go against the family? Alma roared. Seeing that she couldn't use force against them, she immediately turned on Dahlia and put the blame on her. Madam Alma, I was the one who beat them up. If there's anything you're not happy with, you should come at me instead, Dustin reminded her nonchalantly. Ha! You lot are all in this together, Alma yelled angrily. Dahlia Nicholson, you let your guards go against your elders and harm your family. I am officially dismissing you from your position. From now on, you are no longer chairman of Nicholson Corporation.